Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and you're about to see a very powerful interview that I did with a young man who ran for governor of Nigeria. And when he did, he got to see election voter fraud firsthand against him. He additionally experienced and saw and is seeing a lot of persecution of Christians and Christian massacre happening right in front of his eyes and in his country. So very heartwarming interview. But before I get into it, I want to give a quick shout out to my partner at noblegoldinvestments.com. If you've not converted your 401k into a solid Roth IRA backed by gold, silver, precious metals, all of that, then today is the day that I'm going to encourage you to do that because you want something a little more stable than the dollar. So check it out at noblegoldinvestments.com. All right, here's the interview. Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and I've got an amazing guest. You guys are absolutely going to adore his story, but much more than a story because he's endured and seen massacres of Christians over in Nigeria. But this is Alphonsus Ekariki, and I'm doing my best to pronounce that. But he ran for governor there in Nigeria and encountered a lot of, voter fraud, something we see evidently here in America as well. But will you give a brief description about who you are and all of that information so anyone who doesn't know you is aware of who your story?
All right. Good day all. My name is Professor Alphonsus Ekariki. By training, a clinical researcher and then a clinical neuroendocrinologist. I am the inventor's STEM Invention Technology Program, which is the first ever curriculum that teaches people how to become inventors. I'm a Christian, and then I am an American Nigerian, and then I received a call on what I call Project Nehemiah, like the Nehemiah in the Bible, to come over to Nigeria and help. So I went and then I ran for governorship of Imo State in Nigeria.
Now, how did that go when you ran for governor? What did you encounter? Persecution? How did you discover the voter fraud?
Well, it's unbelievable. We thank God because we are people of faith. There were serious voter frauds, serious one. And then there were also some killings, some vandalizations, but God kept us safe. And then it's unbelievable that such should happen in a country so much endowed. But when you talk of killing, there are two types of killing, the political killing and then the religious killing. The religious killing is the type that everyone knows called the Boko Haram menace, in the Northeast. Yeah, it's not all the Muslims that are perpetrating this. It's just a fraction of some group that are very loyal to Al-Qaeda. So they are in the Northeast, and then they are terribly harmful to humanity. They've cleared a village or two villages in a place called Bitchute. Christians living there, they just kill them all. And nothing is done. The world is not doing anything. No person comes to the aid. Or, children are made orphans in the broad daylight, and women are made widows. And they killed women, killed men, and it's just unbelievable.
And this is happening daily basis, weekly
basis? Yes, it's still on now at the Northeast, the northern parts of Nigeria.
So they're massacring, thousands, if you will, over a time period of Christians, and the government doesn't care. If they did, they would be stepping in, and so it's almost as if you're in that helpless situation, which is why I want to bring attention to it. And another reason I think it's important to have you on. Has anyone you personally known been involved in that? Or, how close have you been to that situation and seeing that there?
Well, is it on the political side or on the religious side?
Let's do both.
Okay, on the political side, yes, one of my workers was attacked and then was, fractured. They knifed him, they stabbed him on the head and on the eye, at the boat, pulling boat. They stabbed him and destroyed things, and then destroyed ballot papers and all the voting materials. It's just obvious. And they burnt, in my presence, they burnt a big house. It's called the Ngopala INEC house. They burnt it and burnt everything. It's just a terrible thing to see. Then in the north, some Christians that we know, actually we've been there to assist in rehabilitation at Bitchute. We knew some Christians that are homeless now, that are nursing wounds, that they incurred from these people that came to annihilate them without any cause. Yeah, it's there. But the government, I think the federal government, is trying to curb it, but then there's no open pronouncement or legal indictment to those that caused this problem.
Now, what do you think's at the root of it? Why do you think the government allows it and is not taking any stand against it?
Well, to their own, you see, they have a terrible bureaucracy, and then our democracy is ruled on religious lines. So the government on its own, said they have, sent the military to the border, to that place to curb it, but nothing is being done. I think the major problem that we have there is the advisors to the president, not the president himself. The advisor. Every person blames the president, but I have gone to investigate to see it is the advisors, because they tell him wrong, they give him wrong information. Yes, and then is an outright Christian-Muslim conflict in the Northeast, which is very, very, wrong.
Yeah, so there is still a lot of that tension between Muslims and Christianity going on there. Is that what's at the root of it? Is just their straight up dislike of Christianity? Is it, what would you say is actually behind the motivation for the attacks?
Well, when it started, every person thought it was a joke. They had a governor that, came with some sect of some believers, Islamic believers that believe that Western education or culture is not welcomed in that state. And then from that's how this came up. And then they started killing Christians and then revoking, everything that was Western in that place. In the Northeast, the Northeast of Nigeria, they start asking every person or Christians to leave. But some Christians remained, and then problem came. So that was the genesis of this. But the war did not do anything. You could remember when former President Jonathan was there. There was this kidnapping of some girls. It was a part of this process, and then later Al-Qaeda now came and fused with them. And they have sponsors from Al-Qaeda Al-Qaeda groups. So now the government seemed to, be lost or something like that. Something extraordinary is happening. So our concern now is that the world and the Christian body should now know that they have a brother or brothers over there suffering. It's no longer, let's watch and see. People are dying. But to me, it's not about the Christian or Muslim. It's about humanity. People are being killed every day.
Yes. And that's the big problem. It's like sometimes it's hard because countries all over the world overlook Christians. Like it doesn't matter if they're dying. And I'm here saying it doesn't, it's people, it's humanity.
People, correct.
And that should be at the heart, whether you're a Christian or a Muslim or whatever your religion, it's wrong. Murder is wrong in everyone's eyes. And that's where we're at. Now, do you think seeing and experiencing firsthand persecution in your own country with attempting to run, for governor there and getting harassed, and do you think, that kind of persecution that's getting, for the most part, ignored in your country, do you think it could spread to other countries?
Yes. I mean, once you allow evil, to dwell, the tendency to spread is very high. If we don't do anything now, it's going to spread to the whole breadth of Nigeria and West Africa and Africa. We need peace right now, and then mostly for elections, people should understand what democracy is all about, but they don't know. The people that are already the incumbents, they feel that they have the right to perpetuate themselves into governance. And then when you come in, you find out that there's absolutely no significant liberated program for the people. Say, for instance, our old people, women, children, they have no support whatsoever, no social security. It's unbelievable. If you retire in Nigeria, it's a death sentence for you to die, because you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get anything. And for Christians, those that are proper Christians, their faith is not shaking, because they don't know whether God is answering the prayers or this. If you check on the news, you find out that everywhere you see this surge of immigration, it has to do with Nigerians, the young ones that want to run away. But intentionally, that's not what they want. They want to stay, but they have no life, no job, no regard. Our mothers are not taken care of. Our parents, the old ones, people are dying every day, and the world is not doing anything. So we are pleading that the world look into this situation and come back to Nigeria. Nigeria is a blessed country. We have everything you can ever name of. Now we cataloged 289 unindexed mineral throughout Nigeria that could develop the country more than any other African country. But nothing is done. There's no invention, no industries, no electricity, and then instead of going up, they're just going down. So, but we are pleading that Christians should look into Nigeria, and then don't be afraid to come in. In the southeast, it's a little bit peaceful. It's peaceful, it's not all that deadly. Even in the north, it's only that enclave, the place called Northeast and Bauchi. That's where you have serious problem that one should be careful of. But Abuja, Lagos, and the other places, or where they are okay.
And that's an important point, because right now there's no one else. Like Christians, we do have to start at least praying for Nigeria and these kinds of things. But that's where I want to add United Nations, for example. If they really cared about the situations, like they're supposed to be a peacekeeping force. Yes. So they know, and they're well aware of that going on, but they ignore the problem. Why? The answer is simple: because they are not about real peace. They're about global and basically bringing down everybody to almost a third world country level. That's why it's so hard for Nigeria to get what they need, the support that they need, because nations like these world organizations aren't bringing it. They have UN peacekeepers, they have a force that can do it, but it's not going out there, it's not being deployed. There is not the help that should be there, which is why they were created, which is just, it should ring a bell to everyone, at least here in America and abroad, that's not necessarily something we could ever rely on, because the ultimate goal of these organizations is control, and it's unfortunate, which is why we have to band together as believers and patriots and people who just support Trump, all these kinds of things, and help each other out. And that's why I appreciate everything that you did and for bringing your story, because it's critical,
Yes.
especially in this time. Do you have like anything like in conclusion? I don't know if you have any websites, if people want to, do you have anything like that?
Well, yes, website that we have now is not functional. Is the website meant for my office, which is my, office here. Yeah, is www.sciencemedicineresearch.org. That one is functional, but the one we made for helping the people directly over Nigeria is not functional. But this one is functional, and then it's a non-profit research or approved 501c organization. So we use it also to help out in Nigeria, to help people mostly in education, to help those that have no job, to create job, and then to also give them opportunities in health, because like you said, United Nations and WHO, they do nothing. If you see the health facility in Nigeria, man, is appalling. There's absolutely nothing. So we
that would
want
be government-controlled healthcare, which we don't want. That's an example, right?
Yeah, yes, it's over there.
That's what we're fighting against.
We are pleading. We need facilities, equipment, to facilitate good healthcare delivery in the country, and then teaching equipment, to give to the schools to help them, develop and then be members of the 21st century world.
Now, one last question. Do you think America could ever end up like that, considering the way that we're going politically?
Yes. America is already where it should be. And then for Nigeria, you see, Nigerians, their last hope is on America. That's what Americans don't know. Nigerians love America so much, but unfortunately, there's no significant American investment in Nigeria. There's none. No significant ones. So we are pleading to American businessmen to come to Nigeria to invest. We are also pleading that they understand that it is safe for them to come, relate with other Christians, help us bring our Christianity up. Nigerians want to lean on America, and then for us, I have a program that I gave during the campaign. That's sister city relationship, which cities here agree, some, to give us. We want sister city relationship in my state, in Imo State, so that we adopt the 305 walls, so that the cities here will adopt them and then help in exchange program in agriculture, in education, in religion, in all things that matter, so that life will be better for the people. So we are relying on America. The presence of China is there, but the Chinese are not doing much for us. But wherever America goes, that place develops. So we need Americans to come. Yes.
Awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you again for coming on the broadcast. And thank you guys for listening. And this is Lisa Haven signing out.